There's nothing quite like developing a crush on someone. It's not exactly the same as falling in love, but it definitely isn't just a friendly interest in someone either. For the most part, crushes are innocent, joyous affairs that really add a little spark to our day. While people might choose to deal with crushes in different ways, pretty much everyone has developed a crush at some point in their life. Many of us had our first crush at extremely young ages, before we even knew what romance and dating really was. Crushes might be fairly common things in life, but there's definitely not just one type either. We've compiled a list of 7 completely different variations on the common crush, and it might be interesting for our readers to skim through, especially those who currently have crushes. What kind of crush do you have? Figuring this out might help you understand whether or not your innocent crush could develop into something more serious. 1. Having a crush that helps you get over hard times. A crush can be one of the few things that reminds you that there is still hope, no matter how dark life gets. If you've just gone through something horrible, having a crush is actually a really good sign. This means that you're getting over whatever scarred you previously, and that you're ready to love again. Opening up your heart to the possibility of romance is kind of like a leap of faith. Even though you might have been hurt in the past again, developing a crush again means that you're willing to risk pain in order to feel that wonderful feeling once again. 2. That crush that makes you look forward to school or work. We all have those days when we just can't seem to get out of bed and face the day ahead. Whether it's a boring day at school or a tiresome shift at work waiting for you, many of us find ourselves racking our minds for some reason, anything, to get us out of that door in the morning. But a crush can really help motivate you to face all of the day's challenges. Indeed, having a crush can actually make you excited for even the most dreaded days that await you in the morning. No matter how boring or hard that day is, you can bet that if your crush is going to be there, you'll always have a glowing feeling inside as you set foot outside each day. 3. Those childhood crushes. Another type of crush almost all of us have experienced in the past is the good old-fashioned childhood crush. You remember these, don't you? Many of us can recall our first ever crush, and that strange feeling inside. Most of us weren't really sure what was happening to us, and it was probably a confusing time for many. But however you felt about your first childhood crushes, there's no denying that this experience was completely innocent and beautiful, and that's a huge reason why these types of crushes are so unique. 4. The crush that could be the one. These types of crushes can be a real mind twister, but there's no denying that there's something magical about their sheer intensity. These are the crushes where we get our hopes up and let our imaginations roam free, wondering what it would be like getting married to that person, having children with them, or even growing old with them. Crushing on someone like this isn't quite the same as falling in love with them, but it's definitely part of the initial phases of falling in love. When we crush on someone in this manner, we're just starting to entertain the possibility that they just might be the one, and that's a huge moment in our lives. 5. When you know a crush is just a crush. Now let's examine the total opposite, knowing when a crush is, well, just a crush. You know that it's not serious, and that's totally fine with you. There's nothing wrong with having a slight crush on someone and being okay with the fact that you're slightly interested in someone who can also be a pretty interesting experience. It's not like you're falling in love with them or anything. You can still keep your wits about you and not get overly emotional. There's no need to get attached or start worrying too much, and you can just let things develop as they would naturally. There's something undeniably fun about not taking relationships too seriously, and just enjoying the fact that there's a little bit of a spark between you and someone else. 6. That crush who reminds you how beautiful life is. Sometimes we find ourselves trudging through the dull corridors of life with our heads down, not bothering to glance up even once at the wonders that are unfolding before us. As we've mentioned earlier, it's all about perception, and a simple crush can change everything. Let's say you've gotten to a pretty stagnant routine, interacting with the same people, visiting the same places, and everything seems like it's a record stuck on repeat. When someone totally new and interesting comes into your life, it can be a massive wake-up call, reminding us that there is still beauty out there in the world, beauty that has the ability to truly shock us in the best possible way. 7. A crush that's kept secret. Having any type of secret is usually a pretty joyful experience, provided, of course, that it's a good type of secret. You know, things like your secret stash of cookies waiting for you at home, or your secret obsession with binge-watching Harry Potter movies. Having a good secret that you keep to yourself can be the one thing that nobody can ever take away from you. And it can keep you thinking pretty positive even when you've been dealt some pretty terrible cards. Well, one of the best types of secrets you can have is the fact that you have a crush on someone. These secret crushes sometimes cause our friends to say things like, "What's gotten into you?" or "Why are you so happy?" And at this point, we just smile and say, "Nothing." It's the type of crush that makes us feel warm inside and gives us that little bit of joy that makes each day a touch more satisfying. These crushes usually form during the first stages of our attraction to someone, and that's why they're so magical and unique. So, there you have it. 7 types of crushes that make us feel amazing. Of course, there are probably more types of crushes out there, and not all of them are necessarily good types of crushes. But for the most part, crushes are innocent, fun, and they fill us with joy. Do you know of another type of crush that we missed? Comment below and let us know. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to see more content.